Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Just waiting for Michelle. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. I'm just waiting for Michelle to turn up. Here we go.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good and you?
Good, good, good.
Sorry, I've got a machine beeping here behind me and I cannot figure out how to switch it off. So it's
I
going to be
know.
beeping.
That's so frustrating. It's like
Yeah.
that, it's like Chinese water torture, you know what I mean? Where it's just like this
Yeah.
constant, that would drive me insane. Absolutely insane. Oh,
Ah, what can
goodness.
you do?
So lots of things happening at the moment.
Hmm.
Unbelievable. And lots of chaos within the indie author world, I think, as well, in author world.
Yes. Lots of
Mm,
trepidation and accusation and I think just fear all around at this moment,
yeah.
which is
Um,
very sad.
yeah, because, at the end of the day, everyone's a human and they have feelings. And, they might be great authors and they might have a lot of traction with people, but it doesn't mean that they've got this lots of confidence. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it hurts. It can hurt, and especially with this witch hunt that is going on, it is pretty insane. It's pretty,
Yeah.
like they're going to push everybody out. That's what's going to happen. It's going to
Yeah.
get to a point where authors won't want to write.
No, that's exactly the problem. And we've seen several videos here on TikTok in the last few days of well-established authors who've been writing
Yeah.
since before the whole AI crash happened. And even they are sitting there terrified that
Mm.
what can I write? Because I must make sure that this doesn't sound like it was written by a computer. And it's
Yeah.
stripping away the author's voice, which is very sad.
Definitely. And if you think about it, people who write, whether it's books, newspapers, that kind of creativity, we are the people who bring the out of the box thinking, that bring
Yeah.
the romance, the fantasy, the other ways of thinking about things, something. And if we are then silenced, what is the point of writing? Because it's just getting dulled down to, it might as well be a back of a cornflake packet.
Yeah. All these different writing tools that you're not allowed to use. And it's not just grammar symbols. It's just anything. It could
Similes and
almost be anything.
metaphors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what a lot of people aren't realizing is the people behind the books are normal people. They,
Mm.
they are, it's a job. So listen, if an author is a person who writes AI, you can't stop them, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a good book, because if they're having to use AI to write their book, they obviously don't have the technique, the understanding, and the, like, that explorative fantasy out of the box thinking. If you have to use a
Yeah.
tool to write your work, it's going to get caught out, and
Yes. Yeah. using AI is not going to make you a good author. That's the thing.
Definitely not. It's going to
So,
hinder you.
yes, yes, no, it will hinder you. But now the problem is that with all these witch hunts that are happening, and it started with, not started with, but it's really escalated since Shy Girl by Mia, I
Yeah,
cannot remember her surname, was sort of ripped to pieces on YouTube. And I mean, we haven't read the book, so we can't really make comment
no,
on
no.
the contents of the book. But everybody's become an expert on how to spot AI writing. But it's been proven that even these AI checking tools that tells you like what percentage of your book has been written by AI, what
Mm,
percentage of the image, even those are wildly inaccurate in most
mm,
instances.
yeah,
And people are losing their entire careers over this. And it's
yeah,
causing major mental health issues. It's causing anxiety and fear. And people are losing the confidence to publish something that could have been something fantastic. And
yeah.
yeah, it's criminal, I think.
And I did also see a post actually about that book where somebody like really stripped it down and they looked into the format that the book was put through to check if it was AI. It was actually a
Mm.
pirated copy of the book. So it wasn't
Yeah,
even the true manuscript from the author, it was a pirated copy. So, of course, it's going to get flagged anyway because it's gone through an AI process. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So, I
yeah,
think it's just this witch hunt of, it's like the people shouting the loudest are making a noise, and it doesn't mean that they are the biggest majority. But it's
no, they're
think of it
not.
like a bully. You get one bully and they have a group of friends around them. A lot of these friends don't want to be saying anything because they're scared to voice their opinion because of the loudest in the group.
Yeah,
And this is exactly what is happening, is that you're getting some people that are wanting traction and fame on platforms like this because
hmm,
negativity actually is a thing that sells, unfortunately.
yeah,
And what what I don't understand is that, for one, there's not 100% proof on any of this stuff. Yet people are
yes,
canceling people, and it's like, hold on a minute. You can't just go and cancel a wide variety of writers when you don't have 100% proof on something.
yeah,
Somebody's
absolutely. And
reputation is torn to shreds.
yeah. And it's I just also want to make it clear to whoever's listening that we are not for using AI in your creative
No,
process. That is not what we're
no, no,
about
no,
at
no,
all.
no, no. No,
And
God,
we've
no.
we've had that stance from day one. We
Day one.
support
Yeah.
authentic human authors in both
Yes.
SAIAA and the local book hive. But it
Yeah.
becomes a problem when authentic human authors are being accused of something that there's no way of proving that they've done it.
Yeah. And I
It's
think
a
that's the
subjective
conversations.
feeling.
People are scared to have these conversations online about it because they're scared of being the next person that's witch hunted. Do you know what I mean? And as you say, myself and you, as SAIAA, as a local book hive, we even have it in our contracts about, we do not support AI as a writing tool to write your books and all of that stuff. So we are about, as you say, human voices, human authors actually writing. But
Yes.
it just seems to be of late is this domino effect. And then when you have traditional publishers also now saying that metaphors and similes, it's like, what
And
is
then,
a writer supposed to write? What are we supposed to be writing in? Is it supposed to be just like here we go, here's a textbooks. Michelle went to the shop. The sky was blue. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's no feeling and there's no emotion with it and there's no description. But when they're asking us to take this stuff away, it's like,
you
what?
can't. I've seen some major authors who are like, I love using an M dash and I refuse to stop using
Yeah,
it. And,
yeah,
more power to them. we're so scared of using it because what if somebody says? But I actually think
Yeah,
we need to stand against it. And you and I had this
definitely.
conversation the other day where, I had to make a very conscious decision for myself because I found myself writing that morning and thinking, I can't say this because it sounds too
Yeah,
much like AI. But the problem is
yeah,
that AI was trained on human written
yeah.
manuscripts and people who use
Without the
proper grammar,
permission of said
unfortunately.
authors.
Exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. But that's what they were trained
And
on. So you use proper English
yeah,
grammar, and people accuse you of using AI. I've also seen,
yeah,
and this is a tragic flip side to it, of kids in schools having their written pieces given a failing grade because the teacher says, no, this AI checker says you used AI.
yeah,
And then, the parents have to step in and go to great lengths to prove their child's innocence.
yeah.
And it's just ridiculous.
It's it's just what I've also seen is that so if somebody's like really famous and maybe they're accused of AI, people are like, oh, they're not as harsh. But if you are somebody who's maybe a bit small fry, they come at you with blood. Do you know? I mean,
Mm.
they want to ruin you. So there's this imbalance even within that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
how can somebody win with this? You can't win. So it's like, well, how can we change it? How can we, you know, keep raising awareness? Because let's face it, AI is here to stay, plain and simple.
mm,
But I'm still
yeah,
about AI not being used within writing books. Totally stand
yeah,
that it's about human voices, human writing, human led feeling, you know?
yeah,
And my worry is when you see these authors that are nearly in tears on lives because it is stressing them out so much, and they are
yeah,
fantastic writers. And I'm thinking, we're going to lose a load of people that are so good at what they do. Stories
yeah,
that could be the next color purple, or you know what I mean? And Wuthering
yeah,
Heights and all of this stuff. But it's like they're trying to dumb down the culture with regards to
yeah,
writing.
yeah.
And
And,
if we keep on doing that, there's going to be nothing left.
yeah, unfortunately. And I think we're going to get to a point as well where major corporations who make money off of literature will start to realize that they can make more money quicker
Mm.
if they sort of sneak in the use of AI in the creative process.
Well, this
And
is kind of happening, isn't it?
yeah,
I saw somebody talking about it yesterday, and she was saying how some top publishing houses actually have it saying, we're not against AI and we use AI in processes and stuff. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, but what processes? Nobody's
yeah.
questioning
Where's the
them.
line?
Nobody's asking those questions. But when it comes to the actual writer, people are culling. They are out for blood. And it is frightening. I'm
Yeah,
tired of. I see what authors are going through with themselves mentally, because obviously we
mm,
do the mental health workshops every week. I see
yeah,
the fear, I see the self doubt and the stress that they're under. So add this on top of it. We're going to
yeah,
lose a lot of people from writing because of this witch hunt, which doesn't need to be. It's going to
yeah.
put
I
kids
think,
off wanting to write as well, and
yeah,
that's my concern. It's going to start putting this fear into youngsters that maybe have this dream of wanting to write and write stories, but they see all
yeah,
of this and they're like, hell no, this is a negative space, because that's what it's become, is
Yeah.
negativity sells, which we know. If you look at the news, it's all negative, and it's people that thrive on this negativity. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. Books are meant to be for escaping, for opening up your mindset,
Mm.
for making you go to another world when you are having a tough time.
Yeah. And then that's at
It's
the end of
just
the day,
frightening.
that's the big thing that we're trying to make a change in, and this is making it so much more challenging, is to create this space of kindness within the South African book talk community. And
Yeah.
it's like you take one step forward and get knocked 10 step back. But really,
Yeah. I've lost you. Your voice is gone.
it's difficult. Sorry, I got a call there for a second, but I killed it. Um,
What did you say? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
no. So we're trying to spread this vibe within the community of South African authors where we are saying we're about kindness and we won't stand for bullying and all of these things. You get one step forward and then all of a sudden you're knocked 10 steps back. And
Yeah.
it's quite disheartening, but I think, if that's just the message that we can continue spreading
I
and
think
hopefully
that's what
encouraging
it is,
people
isn't
to
it?
think twice about, yeah,
I think
just to have someone
have somebody
think
in your
twice about running their
corner.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I look at SAIAA and I look at the local book hive and what has happened within the last few months, and how people are encouraging each other. They're helping each other. You know, it's being led with kindness. And that is
yeah,
such a lovely change to see. And it's like that ripple effect, and
yeah,
that can move out to the people that they know, and raising
yeah,
awareness for South African indie authors, and showing these people in the world that actually we have some great authors in this country, and we need to be investing in them and not
yeah.
just thinking about international authors.
Mm.
I mean, I'm looking forward to this new book club book. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it because
Yeah,
the place is like the next town from me. And I'm like, this is cool. I want to read this book, you know?
yes. And
And
everyone that I've spoken to that's read it has said this is such a beautiful, uplifting story. Yeah, and
yeah,
I think that's something we need. We need to have some positivity, some positive ending to it. I suspect there's going to be a few twists and turns in it nonetheless, but and that's the
oh,
thing. And you know what
100%.
else it's really touched me, especially since we brought our ambassadors on board, is how the community is
Mm,
starting to like really cheerlead one another. And I haven't seen that
yeah,
elsewhere on any social media
no,
platforms where you've got different authors and they're across different genres and some of them are in the same genres and it doesn't matter. There's when there's a new book coming out, they're making huge fanfare about it and just building each other up and encouraging one another. And that is really the beauty of the community and really something that we want to
and
encourage
I also
outside of
think
SAIAA
that
even.
I think it also it's made a lot of friendships that people wouldn't have thought would
Yes.
happen,
Yeah.
and it's helping them gain confidence. I
Yes.
can see the confidence in so many of our authors since we started, and it is like, I see you now. I see who you could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is like this whole effect, like, it's just, it makes me so happy that we've been able to start this, and how it's grown. And it's not just us, there's a whole community of us doing this.
Mm.
You know, we were just the crazies who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
And I just think that one thing we definitely need is more men within the,
Yeah.
the author world coming forward in South Africa. You know, and I just think it's so inspiring to see people getting vulnerable, people talking about their work, their home lives. It's like,
Yeah,
it's a
it's not just
complete, yeah,
yeah, it's not
it's,
it's the whole person coming into the community, and that's one of the things that's really also blown me away is people are, on the community groups and that not just talking about their journey as an author, they definitely do that, but
yeah,
they're connecting to one another on a personal level, like celebrating the fact that one of our guys bought an air fryer this weekend and we had a lot of fun
yeah,
cooking
yeah,
different food in the air fryer, and when there's been people that are going through really difficult times in their home life where we've been able to reach out and support them.
yeah.
Even, we always wish we could do more, but do as much as what we can for them. And that's been very valuable. And it's become a lifeline for a lot of the members
I think
because
so.
they've been so
I think so.
isolated.
And it is quite an isolating job that we do. So
Mm,
the fact that we can be part of a community that is about uplifting, and not pulling each other down
yeah.
is a really lovely thing because, even if someone's been away for a few days, it's like, dude, where have you been? How are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just about their book, it's about them as a person.
Yeah.
We're invested as them as a person. And it's not just the authors, we've got the small
Yeah.
businesses that are part of this that help uplift the authors, and we
Yeah.
uplift them because it's this infinity circle that keeps on going around and around because without the one there isn't the other.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah. And
it's
no, it's been a great experience overall. And I'm sure at some point it will bleed out into the world around us as we reach more people. And I mean, we've got some exciting plans to get that going as well, which
I
is
know
which is
we
great.
do. And what I found interesting is that how many people have said to us, "Are we going to Comic Con this year?" And it's like, we only
We
launched in
wish.
February. We wish we were going, but unfortunately, way out of our reach expense wise.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we can do it next year. That's like one of
Yeah.
the goals. So, the fact that people are asking us this, that is a
Yeah.
huge deal as well if we're going to this. And I just think, wow, we can, if this is what we've done within like a couple of months, what's
Yeah.
going to happen for the rest of the year?
Yeah. The momentum is building.
Yeah, it is definitely building. And I can see the shift within the negative space that has been like South African Book Talk. I think it's changing, which is really nice. We just also need to get some readers more on board with regards to trying South African indie authors and actually giving them a chance,
Yeah.
because they're definitely missing a treat. And, it might be somebody you've never heard about,
Yeah.
but I can tell you now, they most probably have a great book.
Yeah. No, there's a
Don't
lot of
always go
talent.
for the top 10. You know what I mean? Don't go for that top tier. Because most of the time, yes, top tier usually means, they've rated the books, they've had good book reviews, but half of the time it's because they've had a lot of money to spend on advertising said books to get them out there
Yes.
to the readers. So they get
Yeah.
that momentum. But the average Joe hasn't got that funding to propel them into the advertising space.
Yeah.
So there's also that dynamic with it that I think a lot of readers don't understand. Um, and not saying that, why would they understand? You know what I mean? It's not something that
Yeah.
as a reader you would think about,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, obviously,
Um,
we're in a world where marketing is like a very precise science, and
it is indeed.
people are unfortunately easy to influence. But just to
Yeah.
spread the word a little bit about the smaller fish in the publishing space, like you
Mm.
say, there's a lot of talent in South Africa, and they're
My God.
Not the easiest thing
And
to
it's
find necessarily, but that's why we exist, right? That's why SAIAA and the local book I've started,
exactly.
was to spread the word.
And what I love is the fact that it's so many genre. There's so many
Yeah,
genres across it. It's not just like one about like South African home stories. It is a variety of stuff, from
yes,
thrillers to dark fantasy to romantasy to non-fiction. It's all
yeah,
there, and you've just got to look for it. And I think that's why I love the local book hive being part of
mm,
this system, is because it fuels everything that we're doing for SAIAA as well,
yeah,
because we're helping grow and give them a platform to feel heard and seen and valued,
yeah,
and understanding of being an indie author,
yes.
which then can go into the local book hive, which, if nobody knows, it is a South African indie author bookstore online. So I think it's the only one in the country.
Yeah, I think there might be others, but I think it's the biggest one. We've got quite an amazing
Yeah,
selection already, despite only starting.
I know,
And I mean,
right?
almost every day I'm adding new authors to the family there. Um, but yeah, it's a great selection, and it's got there we've got ebooks and paperbacks. So whatever your jam is, and yeah, it's just a great
Definitely.
one-stop place because I think a lot of readers, it's difficult to have to buy from each individual author and pay shipping from each individual author. And here, one shipping fee
Mm,
for your whole order makes it a bit more accessible.
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, it's a
And
great
also, you
space.
get to see, you might be going there for a certain book, and then you look through the rest, and you're like,
Mm,
oh, actually, I want this as well. Um,
yes.
and the fact that we also have the ebooks is really
Mm,
beneficial, because
yeah.
a lot of people don't have that funding to pay for a paperback,
Yeah.
because
Or
unfortunately, paperbacks,
they
you
are
know,
expensive, unfortunately. Or they're just like me, who likes holding my tiny little Kindle while I'm reading. And I can just throw it in my bag and it's portable and yeah.
no, definitely. I mean, I've got it on my phone, so I don't have a Kindle. I just have my phone app, which is has got
Yes,
the book
yes.
reader on it. So for me, it's like it's easier, and as well, and also I think with myself, um, the wording size.
Yes.
So, because I mean, honestly, it's like without these, I'm stuffed. But it's like I'm reading an old fantasy book. It's a sci-fi fantasy book, and it's like over 1,000 pages. But it's
Yeah.
from 1980s. But the writing is so tiny. I mean, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So what I love about being able to read it online with the ebook, I can change the sizing of the words
Yes.
if I want.
No, exactly.
Um, which is really good for people like me.
Yeah. No, hopefully,
So this
hopefully in the
evening's
future. No, I was just gonna
mm,
say, hopefully in the future, if I can make some fire under my brother's arse, I can get us to have an audiobook version, a little app, especially for the
yes,
local book. I have to do
that's going
audiobooks
to
as
be
well.
exciting.
So, but
Yeah, that
it's
is
still a way
exciting.
off, I think.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
But it's
tonight.
in the future plans. Yeah,
Mm, yeah.
tonight's going to be a good one. It's going to
Yes.
be a really good
I
one. Um,
I actually
yeah,
started
go.
reading
You
Terry's
say.
book because
Okay.
Shackled Song of the Nightingale has been on my TBR since last year. But you know, the TBR is
Okay.
huge. And so knowing that we were going to interview her, I thought, no, let me dive into this a little bit. As per usual, I'm reading three or four other books at the same time, so I think I've only
I don't know
gotten
how you do it.
to about 10 chapters. I do audiobook a lot, and I count them together.
Okay.
It counts.
No, it does count. I mean, for me, so I can only focus on one book a month, basically, because
Yeah,
of my brain fog and everything. So for
yeah,
me, it's either a beta read or it's it's a book that I want to read. And
Yeah.
generally it ends up being a beta read because I think, oh, I want to help that person before I read
Yeah,
the
yeah.
TBR.
No,
So,
same.
so my TBR is like getting higher and higher.
I know.
Um,
I know, we're
but
busy.
I'm not stressing about it because
No,
I'm
as
also
long
a
as you're
mood reader.
enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is why
Yeah.
I usually have 3 or 4 books on my TBR at any time because it will be something heavier that I need to have mental space open for, or one of
Mm.
my new favorite genres is cozy fantasy. So if I'm just wanting
Okay.
to unwind a little bit, I'll read some cozy fantasy. And then
You
I'll usually
see,
also have a beta read in as well, or 2 or 3.
you see, I'm like that with when it comes to my writing because I write
Mm,
across multiple genres. So depending on my mood, it will be either dark fantasy, women's fiction, or mindfulness stuff with kids. So it's like
yes,
a whole wide variety of
right.
stuff.
It
But that's
is.
because I mood right. And
Yes,
depending on my health on that day, depends on how much I can give to whatever I need to do.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but I like being a mood reader because I think that then I'm not forcing it.
yes. Yeah, and I said to someone yesterday as well, I'm like, I am so quick to not finish a book. And it's just because I'm not feeling it right now. I mean, I might read it at another time and absolutely love it. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
go and leave a negative review about it unless there was something very
yeah.
drastically wrong with the book. In which case I would probably just try and contact the author directly anyway. But yeah,
Mm,
I'm a mood reader, so if I don't, that's why if you look at my Goodreads profile, right, all of my books there have
mm,
4 and 5 stars, and it's simply because I don't
yeah,
finish the book if it's going to be less. I don't waste my time with it because
yeah.
I've got other books that I want to read. But yeah,
No,
I've started
exactly.
reading.
And I also, you've started
Carry
reading?
on. I'll tell
No,
you now.
go. You started reading? No, tell me.
Now, I don't know if you want me to tell you.
No, I do.
It's a new book that hasn't been released yet that I have special early access to
Okay.
that a close friend sent me.
Okay.
So I was actually
And
at the gym yesterday walking because I'm still recovering from the flu. So I was walking on the treadmill and reading
mm,
the book while I was on my e-reader while I was walking. And I'm so obsessed with it at the moment, so that might just take up everything else. But it's a dark
okay.
fantasy for those of you who don't know yet, and you'll get more news about it very soon, I'm sure. But very well written, so I'm really enjoying it. But back to
You see,
Terry's book, because
I
that's
wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to walk and read. It would make
oh
me
no,
feel
it's on
sick.
the it's on the treadmill, so I don't have to look where I'm going at
Even
least.
still. Yeah,
But
no,
I
even
also I
still, I'd
can't.
be like,
So when I run at the gym, if I run on the street, I'm entertained by what's going on around me. But it gets boring.
yeah.
You have to run for half an hour on a treadmill, it really gets boring. So I usually either have an audiobook in when I'm running, if I'm just walking, I can just read.
Okay.
So, but to get back to
Fair
Terry's
enough.
book, because we are
Yes.
interviewing her live tonight. That's the whole point of this conversation. Oh, sorry,
So
you and I are not
exciting.
interviewing her live tonight.
We're
Our
not.
ambassadors are.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And I
I'm so
like
excited
that
about it.
because
Yeah.
I think even though we are the face, our ambassadors are the face. And they need
Yes.
to be coming in because they're all from different, they're not just
Genres.
writers. We've got
Yeah.
editors, we've got street team owners, and a whole load of different types of people, and beta readers and advocates. So the fact that they can all come with different questions compared to what we would want to know because we're an author, we'd be like, how
Mm.
did you do X, Y, you know what I mean? So I think
Yes.
having them coming in, and they make it so fun. I mean, did you
No, they
see their
do.
last one? It was like,
Yes.
seriously,
I
girls,
was
like,
laugh I
I
was
was in
laughing the entire hour.
hysterics. I
And I
think
was
if
trying to laugh
anybody saw me,
softly.
they'd be, if
Yeah, because
anyone
my
had looked
husband.
at me because I had my headphones in, they'd be like,
Mm,
what the hell is wrong with her?
yeah, no, my husband was actually sick last Tuesday. So he was passed out next to me at 7 o'clock at night already, and I'm sitting in bed watching the live next to him and trying to like not wake him up with
Oh,
my reactions to them. So it's a lot of
it's,
fun, and I sort of knew this would be the case just knowing Terry personally. But the book is amazing. It's like so action packed. I've only read the first 10 chapters, so I'm not that far in. And I know people have been fangirling over her series for the longest time. And it's really like it's the praise is due there. She is an amazing
yeah.
author. The way that she writes is so gripping. And yeah, I'm very excited to hear what kind of information they pull out of her tonight.
And I mean, the fact that she went and did, because she doesn't really do that much like social
Mm.
stuff. And the fact that she put on a teaser the other day about a new book, it
Yes.
went crazy. It
Yeah.
went crazy. There wasn't a lot there. It was like coming soon. And
Yeah.
they went
And people are like,
nuts.
what are you talking about?
And I
You
love
haven't said
that.
you were writing a
I
new
love
book.
it.
Yeah.
I love that. Because, the people appreciate her work. They
Mm.
are loyal fans.
Yes.
And I just wish her all the best of this new book because she
No,
deserves the
absolutely.
recognition as well, even more so,
Yeah.
you
And you
know.
know
So
what's so
tonight's
amazing
going to be
about
fun.
her? Yeah. And you know what the thing is about Terry is that she gives so much of herself to other authors. Like her passion is
Yeah,
to hold the hand of a new author and guide them through the whole process and show them how to duplicate the
yeah,
success that she's had. So yeah,
yeah.
she deserves her moment in the spotlight,
She's a good egg.
and it's going to be
She
fun.
is a good
Yeah.
egg. Yeah. I'm interested to see what the ambassadors are going to do because I know they've got something up their sleeve.
Yeah, every time it's
I can
something.
just, I'm just like, okay, if they're going to really make this I think it's going to be more laughs than last week. And I
Yeah.
don't see how that's possible, but I think it's going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'm
for
excited.
anyone, that is tonight at 7 p.m. on TikTok. And if you look at either of our TikTok pages, you'll see the live event and the actual ambassadors are tagged in there. So you can go follow one and you'll see they're live at 7 o'clock tonight, but we'll also share it out as well,
Yes.
which is going to
Yes.
be awesome. So yes, lots been going on, lots coming as
Yeah.
well.
No, for
We got
sure.
the new competition starting the new prompt starts tomorrow
Yes. I
for
don't even know what
our
the new prompt is. Have we
members.
chosen one?
No, we need to.
Okay,
So
we'll do that today.
we've got a few to choose from. Yeah.
Yes, I saw the
So for the
list.
members, watch out for the new prompt for our competitions. Here we go.
Yes.
Hi guys, I'd like to ask for clarity. Having your book on the local book guy is free for SAIAA. It's free for any South African indie author.
Yes. So to list your book on the website is absolutely free. Um, we do have a service where we do print on demand, and that does have a setup fee attached to it, which is a once-off fee you pay, which the printer uses to do the administration on their side to make sure that the book is perfectly loaded on their software. They do a proof copy, which they send us a video of to just make sure that you're happy with the way that it's printed. But there's no registration fee or anything. If you can make use of the print on demand if you want to, you don't have to. To sell with ebooks or consignment books is free. Free. So if you want a little
Yeah,
bit more
and
information, I will send it to you after the live.
what I love about the local book hive is the fact that the author benefits more than what the company does. It's a totally different flip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because a lot of authors they get such rubbish deals with regards to using other platforms, and it might be cents. You know what I mean, per read or
Yeah.
whatever. Where with us, should I say, it's a much better deal.
Yeah.
And
And I'm
it's
happy to. to tell everyone here that
Yeah,
it's the author gets 80% of the cost, of the selling price of the book back, which is higher than
yeah,
anywhere else that we've seen. We purposely did it that way because, the authors deserve
yeah. Because
to get paid
we
for the
know,
work that they've done.
we
Yeah, we
know as
authors
being
too.
authors ourselves, we understand the struggle, and that 80% is helping putting food on someone's table,
Mm,
and that's what matters.
yeah,
You're not a number to us. I think that's the difference. Is that we actually care about the people that are part of SAIAA and the local book hive. We want to make sure that they get the best out of their stuff.
yes,
That's through knowledge and through books being sold, either ebook, paperback, whatever. Because we know, we've been there, and
yeah,
we saw what
we've
happened last year, and we refuse to let that happen within what we have started.
yeah,
I think that's a
absolutely.
difference. No one is a number. They are all a person that has feelings, they have problems, they have bills to pay like everybody else. And a
Yeah,
lot of them, they might be single parents, or they're doing
yeah,
double jobs plus writing. They deserve to get the better deal.
no, definitely. So yeah, she
Was it?
says you're going to help her
Here we go.
do her
Yes,
ebook.
we're going to help her with her digital form. Yes, ebook. Yes, we are. We need to do that. So
Yes.
that's not a problem. We will sort that. And I think that's also the beauty, is that there's always somebody who's going to show someone how to do something.
Yeah,
They don't have to go and scour hours over the internet or use someone who might scam them.
yeah,
It just made the whole being of an author easier. Oh, well,
it's a
we
pleasure.
understand it because we live it as
Yeah,
well. We don't want others to be, struggling when it doesn't need to be.
no,
Knowledge is power.
and I just also want to say, like, we started this, but that doesn't mean that we know everything. Like,
Mm-mm.
was it
We're
last
all
week or the week
growing.
before? I was having the worst time. I usually do my own covers, and I was having the worst time trying to visualize my new book's cover, and I just couldn't come up with anything. And Tarine, who does graphic design, like jumped right in there and gave me a basis to start off with, which ended up great. So this is this community is as much for you and me as what it is for the authors that join
Yeah.
as
I
members.
mean, look at
And
me.
it's
Look at me with formatting. For some
yeah,
reason, my computer, we will use the same thing. My computer's like, hell no, it's not working.
yeah,
And thanks to you, you helped me format it. You know what I mean? So there's help
yeah,
for people,
yeah.
and we also have the businesses that help other people. So, they
Mm,
help other authors. And I think it's just about being true and honest and not
mm,
gatekeeping stuff that's
yeah,
been in the past,
yeah,
and being totally against AI as a writing tool for authors in the sense of
yeah.
writing a book.
Yes,
We definitely don't stand for that within SAIAA or the local book hive.
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
we make sure that everyone signs a document stating that as well.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's been a wild couple of weeks.
it has been, but I know we say that every time we come on a live, but I just want to say
I know.
that since our governing body has been appointed and all doing their jobs
Oh,
so beautifully, it's been a wild couple of
I know.
weeks, but we're not drowning in it anymore. We're in a
No, we're not.
space
And
where
that's,
we can now grow, and it's fantastic.
I tell you what, I'm so grateful for the governing body, for the ambassadors, and
Yes.
how everyone is supporting everybody.
Yeah.
It's a proper community. And because there's no way we could keep up the pace that we were doing. It was,
Yeah.
burnout was close,
Yeah.
and that's not what we're about. We're all about mental health as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
to make ourselves burn out, when I especially am always talking about mental health,
Yelling at
is
other
kind of
people.
like, Yeah, exactly. So, the fact that
So
we
I
have
just,
this great community is amazing.
mm, it definitely is. So this is where you're saying you make it look doable being on the live. Just do it. Don't
Just
worry
do it. And
about
you could always
looking
do it with
perfect.
somebody
Just,
else.
yes. So let us know when you're going live and we'll come and join you. And you just, I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it
Exactly.
gets. And it's great.
It is
It
so
really
true.
is.
Definitely. I'm sure there is an author or even us that would like to join you for a chat
Mm,
on the
yes.
live. 100%. Because I think people really like to see who the people are.
Yes, readers want to connect to the authors that they are buying from. They want to know that the story they're
Yeah.
reading comes from someone.
Yeah, exactly. We
Yes,
need to have the human touch,
exactly. And
and
I feel
prove
very
that we're
bad
not.
saying that now because I have never gone live by myself on my author account.
Well,
Can you
didn't I
imagine?
drag you on your first live? I did. It was for
It's
SAIAA when
possible.
we launched.
Yes,
It
I
was.
still
Yeah,
had
it
to
was for
panic because
SAIAA.
I'd never gone live before. Never even crossed my
Yeah,
mind. But it
I've
is a
been doing
great
it for
tool.
years.
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic
And
tool. Um,
the
and
more you
and you
do
should
it,
use
the
it.
easier it is. It's consistency. It's
Mm,
not overthinking it. I think that's what a lot of people do. They start overthinking it before they go on, and then they go blank
yes.
because they're like, well, what am I going to talk about? No one's going to want to speak to me or talk about, or hear my voice. And people do. That you've always got
Yes.
someone who is interested in your story.
Yeah.
Always. So bite the bullet, step into the fear, and it'll be gone. It'll be the best thing you've done.
Yes.
Because you can also talk about the ups and the downs of
Yeah.
writing the book. Because nothing's perfect. No one is perfect. This is what everyone needs to understand. We all make bloopers. We all make, mistakes and whatever. That is the journey of being human.
Yeah.
We are imperfectly perfect. And we got to give
Yes.
ourselves breaks and lead with kindness and stop going on a witch hunt.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
gosh.
sick of seeing broken authors. It breaks my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, just support one another. There's space for it.
Yeah, and that's the
There's
thing.
space
There
for
is
it.
a space. The more you uplift somebody, the more you uplift yourself at the same time.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. This has been a great
All
live. We've
right.
spoken about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, we haven't done it in a while,
As
so
we
it's only
do.
right.
I know. I know. Oh, Sinead's just come on. Sorry, my love. We're just about to go off. But we will download this and put it on the YouTube channel if anybody
Mm.
wants to watch the catch up. So have a great day, and I'll see you
You too?
tonight.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.